Good morning. Happy Tuesday and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. I am the badass Buddha, Dr. Lori Monaco, coming to you from Connecticut. Overcast, but hey, sunny, it's overcast. I can't keep track of it. Hot, cold, humid, whatever. So I am your authenticity teacher, speaker, coach. I am your fat eviction specialist. I am your chiropractic physician. I am your soon-to-be author. And again, I am the badass Buddha. Good morning.
Good morning. Buenos días, mi gente. I am La Margarita. I am your spiritual and creative healing life coach. I am a whole bunch of things in one, and I'm still biracial, bicultural, and sometimes bipolar. But here we are. Happy Tuesday. Bienvenido a Viva Cafe con Leche. Let's start this week off because this is the beginning of our week on Viva. Beautiful, positive, and filled with love. Let's do this. Good morning.
I like that color on you, Gladiator Guru. That's really pretty. Can we see what you're wearing? Let's see what you're wearing.
This is actually a sports bra.
Yeah, no, something that's lower cut, and it's just really right. Tell me,
with the jumper. With the
isn't
jumper.
Isn't that a nice color on her, Tribe? Like it's beautiful. You look so. Look at you. Your hair slick, like pulled back. You're all like bony here. You're just
know
all
what it is? You know what it is? I'm always in black, so any color I put on is gonna be like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, you know what? You're kind of right. I think you're kind of right. And why are you like to the side? Like what is?
You know what? Because I have my iPad sideways. Because if not, I look like a midget. So the camera's over here. It's not directly in front of me. So okay. I don't know. We'll pose.
Oh my gosh. All right. So
we gotta make the best of it.
We'll make the best of it. It's all right. We do what we do, right? Okay, so shout outs already. So good morning. We got a shout out to Teddy H on YouTube. He said he was so excited for this. He was on at 7:52 a.m. and I'm gonna assume that he knows our guests. So, and he was very excited to be on. So talk about devotion. That's fabulous, right? He was the first one on. And then good morning, Kimberly Sanchez, Luis Sanchez. Always, Kimberly, let's start the show. Oh, they beat you though. See, Teddy H beat you, Luis. So Michelle Houston, good morning. Connie, good morning. Who else is on? Tiffany Bryan in the house, good morning. And Stephanie Nieves and Linda McBee. So good morning, good morning. Stephanie says, both you ladies, amazing, hairs flowing. Yes, when I wash my hair, this is what happens. It gets this really cool. This is a curl that I hated for most of my life. Like I had real curly hair when I was like 2, up till 2 years old. No, maybe 3. And then it got pinstripe 7, 8. Then I hit puberty. Well, it was a little bit later than that. And then I hit puberty and it just frizzed. And then it got wavy in high school. And that's when everybody had perms. It was the 80s. And it was I live in suburban Whitelandia. So all the girls had perms. And then I finally got a perm and I was like, okay, I'm tired of the perm. I went to cut it out of my hair. I cut it real short and found out that I actually had curly hair. And then from that point on, I've had curly hair. And
so from that point on, you embraced who you were meant to be.
I did. Yeah. But it wasn't curly before that though. It was funny. It was almost like the perm trick, said, okay, this is where you need to be. And I did. It took me another 10 years to really embrace it. But I'd say like in my 40s for sure. I really love my hair. So I enjoy my hair till I can't anymore. I'm going to enjoy my hair.
Let me tell you for 809 and Tuesday morning, that was a beautiful love story. Well, it is. You know how many people are always complaining, like if your hair straight, they want it curly. If it's curly, they want it straight. They want to cut this out. They want to. And I'm thinking, at this point in our lives, you know what? Let's be happy we have hair. All the stressors, all whatever we have here, it's growing. It crowns us, and because it is beautiful. and embrace it. That's
And
beautiful.
yours is too. So I see. So Stephanie triggered that conversation. So thanks, Stephanie. And yours is too. Your hair is getting longer. Like it was long before you went back to Florida, but it's like, it seems like it's grown
Yeah.
drastically. Like what happened? Like the Florida heat just went like it just.
It's long to where when I'm out of the shower, it covers my nipple. So it's long, and
Mine's
I'm
almost down
happy.
to my ass in the back, which is,
So
I feel very Godiva like when it's that long.
so
Um,
I love my Cruella de Vilness. I love this, and then I love
yep.
that. All the grades are coming in. So yeah, you know what? Just be who you are. It doesn't matter who likes it, who doesn't like it, and that's what's wrong with society. That's what keeps us women unhappy. You know, just worrying about what I get dressed for me. I don't care how I look. As long as I feel good when I look in that mirror, I'm ready to step out the door, sign and popping. You can't tell me nothing. I'm Queen Elizabeth, no matter what I have on.
And it's so much more
Fedora.
fun. And it's so much more fun to like go out and like shop and do things. Like we went to Mystic, Connecticut this on Sunday, and I walked into this I got to give them a shout out. I walked into this very cool store. It's called Hang the Moon, and it's exceptional gifts for women by exceptional women. All the things that they sell have been made by women or business owned women owned businesses, and they're on downtown Mystic. And I bought this. This is really pretty. Isn't this pretty? And it's like,
Beautiful.
it's
What is
very,
it, a daisy?
it's, I guess, I don't know. It's a blue flower, and but it's like three-dimensional, but it's real, like, you could, if I sat on it, I would squish it, but
What's in the middle? Yeah, it's made with wire.
it's made with wire, right? And it's real pretty. Yeah, it's just a wire ball in the middle of silver, but it's real. And they have such nice stuff. They had some great mugs, and they had it's just absolutely fabulous. I don't think they have, well, yes, they do. I'm sorry. They have, it's www.hangthemoonmystic.com. I don't know if you can order online, but I would imagine so. But check them out because they're very. I love that. I walked in there; it was like pussy power all over the place. Like that. I thought it was you, and I'm like, okay, the next time you come up for a visit, then we've got to go check out the store. So, and then I told them all about the show, and I said, I'm going to give you a shout out, and so we'll see if they log in.
That's awesome. And I didn't get to see who was on because my iPad doesn't show me. So good morning, my beautiful sister, and Michelle and Stephanie. Tiffany Bryant just came on, right? No, she's been
Yes,
on.
yeah, I
Lewis,
shouted them out.
good morning. Here's a shout out from me, the Gladiator Guru, since she's like, oh, I shouted them out. Why are you shouting them out? Good morning, namaste. Yes, so I think today's gloomy over here too. It's gonna rain all week, off and on, but it's gonna be a rainy week here in Tampa, Florida.
Did you
Um,
get anything from that storm? I know, like, whoo, gosh, like Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, and North Carolina, and Georgia, like they got hit with all that rain. Did you get any of that stuff?
when?
I guess not. It was like the weekend.
Oh no, we got a lot of rain on Wednesday and Thursday. Like it rained all day, which is not normally normal for here. It'll rain a couple hours and that's it. But Wednesday it rained all day in different parts. Sometimes it'll rain like crazy in Tampa, but not in St. Pete, that sort of thing. But I crossed from Tampa, St. Pete, from St. Pete to Spring Hill, and it rained. Sometimes real bad. We had to pull over, and on Thursday as well. But no, the power went in and out. That was it.
Okay.
That was it.
Oh,
That
Nicole
was it.
Young is on. Good morning, Nicole Young. We haven't
Good
seen her in a
morning.
bit. Poe Richie Rich is in the
Good,
house.
good morning, Richard. Good morning, Archer. Welcome,
Oh,
bienvenido.
and by the way, so this is so silly, but we are like 10 people short of subscribers to be able to put our name actually in the link for YouTube. So come on, people. We're like, I don't know, we're like at 89 subscribers. Woohoo! By the way. 89. We want about like 100,000 more, but nonetheless, we're getting there. So, but 100, like if we get to 100, we could actually have the Viva Cafe con Leche in the link. So like we want to personalize it. So come on, share. Let's get those people on so we get at least 100, but we want to see a hell of a lot more than that. So I'm trying to push that. I was pushing that on the pages to get people to go on. So anyway,
Well, let's hope we can get it done today.
That's
Oh,
right.
Richie, if you're not subscribed, go to Viva Cafe con Leche on YouTube and become a subscriber. That would be phenomenal.
Yes.
Gracias.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
All right, my love.
Aloha.
So do you want, so we have to get going, but we have a few minutes left. So let's talk about our intention, our mantra, and what coffee you're drinking this morning.
I am drinking a house blend and espresso house blend. And my cup says see the good because we have to see the good.
I love that cup too, by the way. That's really pretty.
Yeah, it's like clay here and then it's like glazed up here.
Yeah.
Yes,
I love it.
so that's a espresso house blend I get at a coffee company that's here. So it's good. It's soft and creamy. So I like that.
Cool. Okay. I left my coffee over in the other room. So once we get our guests on, I'm going to like grab my coffee. But what I am drinking is the Bee's Knees. And it's a caramel coffee. It's pretty good. Tastes pretty good.
The Bee's Knees? That's cool.
The Bee's Knees. Yeah, isn't that cute? So, but I haven't had my coffee. I haven't had a sip yet. So I will shortly. But okay. So my dear, I have the intention for today. So here's the intention for today. The intention is I'm going to create music and beauty wherever I go today. That's what you're setting. We're going to be talking about Moms the Musical and the creators behind it. So today is your musical. Your life today is your musical. So your intention is I'm going to create music and love wherever I go. Did I say love or laughter? What did I say? I lost that. Love. Okay, thank you. So there we go.
But with love comes laughter. So
that's right.
You didn't leave anything out.
Thank you.
That's your intention.
Yep.
Okay, so now we got to match it. And the mantra is music is life. Music is life. I write about it. I live it. It's my go-to, whether I'm happy, sad, depressed, or homicidal. I go to music. Music is life. Música es vida. Music is life. Música es vida. I wrote a whole blog about that.
It sounds so much nicer always in Spanish.
Always. Música es vida. Yeah. Good morning, Jorge.
Jorge and Wanda, good morning. Wanda got a lot of rain. She's in Georgia. So I know they got hit pretty well. So all right. So are we ready to bring our guests on? Oh,
yeah.
You want to
wait? Sure, let's bring her on. But I just want to say thank you. Gwen says she's shared with a few ladies. Our YouTube.
Fabulous. Great. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, share on Facebook, share on YouTube, whatever you want to do. We appreciate it. Let's see. Michelle said, speaking of musicals, go see In the Heights. It was incredible. Oh yeah, I heard about that one. That's the one that's on what is it, Netflix or Prime, right? Or is it HBO Max? I don't remember.
No, I think it's Prime. But yeah, I love the main character in there. He's Puerto Rican and I've seen him in other shows. He's excellent.
Yeah, and there's a lot of salsa. It's a lot of salsa.
And of course, right? I had to say Puerto Rican. I got to represent my people.
Hey, it's all right.
Every chance we get, you know.
Okay. Teddy Hall shared the link on Facebook. Thank you, Teddy Hall. All right. So let's bring our fabulous guests. Kelly's been on before, and Kelly is known as the adaptive music teacher, but she's so much more than that. Like Kelly, she's just such a love bug and so phenomenal. And then we get to meet the fabulous Victoria Ray Sook. They both, you got to see what the hell they did during the pandemic. So we're going to bring them on, and they're going to talk to us and tell us all about their project that they're working on and what is coming up, because that's the other cool part. They're also going to be on the July 9th Viva Moms After Dark, because there's a whole shitload of really cool stuff happening in July for them. So we're going to bring them on. Here we go. Yay! Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Buenos dias.
Hello.
All right. So ladies, okay, so the title of today was, what did I say the title was? I've been writing it all, I've been writing so many titles. When your desire is greater than your fear, because you two phenomenal ladies decided to do what during the pandemic? What did you decide to do?
Well, I wrote a musical during the pandemic. I wrote this show, and we ended up deciding a show called Moms the Musical about motherhood. And I decided to, we recorded it. We did a demo recording, a quarantine demo, where the cast quarantined 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after, so that we could be together and sing in person. And then I paired up with the lovely Victoria Sook here to launch a workshop of this show in New York City. So we are very, very busy. We start rehearsals on Saturday, but we have been rehearsing virtually for the last month or so with the cast. And we're just fast and furious getting this thing going.
That's awesome.
It is wonderful. You decided during the pandemic, let's do this. And then lately you decided, let's light those firecrackers up our asses and get this show popping.
Yeah, that's awesome. it was such a course correction for me. And I mean, as Dr. Lori said, I was in adaptive music, and when the quarantine hit, I really reevaluated my life, and I looked at what I was doing, and I was kind of at this crossroads. Like, do I start my own company and do this adaptive music thing for the rest of my life? Is that what I want to do? Or what is it that I really want to do? And I knew that I wanted to do theater, and I just course corrected, and I said no to everything else that isn't this. So that's just kind of how I how I moved forward.
And doing this while she has two young daughters, still fitting it all in. And right, you've been going back and forth to Manhattan for right. And then so Victoria, what's your background? What is it, and how did you guys connect?
So I've been in New York for 10 years working in the theater professionally. And it's all I've really ever wanted to do. My mom put me in dance when I was 3, and I never left. So I've been here. And then my Zoom resume got very extensive during the pandemic. And you talk about facing your fears. I was like, do I know how to do this anymore? I've been doing dance class in my kitchen, but how do I direct people in a real space? I got really comfortable with this. And then I was like, oh my God, I have the opportunity I'm an actor and director, to get with real people in a physical space. When I direct, I'm really about the connection. And I always, used to start every rehearsal with, let's gather together and breathe the same air. And so I'm so excited that we can all safely breathe the same air again. But it was terrifying to jump back out there and start to put my resume back out there. But I saw the synopsis for Moms on Playbill where I usually send out my directing applications, and I was like, okay, I need to apply for this. And that's how I connected with Kelly, and we had an interview. And I feel like just right off the bat, we were just like, okay, this is a person who I want to be my teammate. This is a person I wanted to collaborate with. And I got off the interview and I told my fiance, I was like, I think it went well. It felt like it was just going to be a really good collaboration, and it has been. So
All right. So what's
That's
the
beautiful.
what's the inspiration behind this? So tell everybody like the gist of the show and like the inspiration behind, because we're all, so Victoria, you don't have kids yet, right? You don't have kids.
No, not yet. I mean, someday, but not yet. I have two cats.
Yeah. But we've got plenty
Enjoy
like
your life.
tribe on here. We're like, some of us are at grandmother stage, so it's like we are like above, and we're like moms 2.0 because we're the next level. So we can relate. So go ahead and give the gist of the show itself.
Me? Okay.
Yeah.
No, I want Gladiator Guru to talk about it because
So the show is about motherhood. I mean, obviously it's called Moms the Musical, but more than that, it's about women. It's about two women who could not be more different, who have just become new mothers. It's sort of a microcosm of that, like first 2 or 3 months when you become a mother, and how these two women come together. One is a workaholic powerhouse who just doesn't take to motherhood naturally. And the other one is a stay-at-home mom who just is like the perfect mother and just has this beautiful connection with her child and just is this desperate for friendship and connection kind of woman. And it's about how these two come together and force each other to grow. And we really see them both go on journeys, with between becoming and stepping into the role of motherhood, but also holding on to who they are as individuals and really struggling with that and that, that dichotomy between, that fight that we have as women when we become mothers, between holding on to ourselves and stepping into this role, and how do we merge those things. And in the meantime, there's a mom group chat. And they're a ball, and there are 3 different kinds of mothers. We have a single mother, we have a lesbian, a woman who is in a lesbian relationship, and we have just sort of the hippy dippy creative mom who's very earthy, crunchy, and we also have our like Upper East Side mom, and the mom who drives the van with like 4 kids who's just like eating Doritos to get by mom. So we have these 3 moms who kind of join these women on their journey, and we also have a mother-in-law who is that generation that you talked about, sort of that grandmother generation. And she gets to express and explore what it's like to sort of feel left behind as a mom, as her son steps into his role as husband and father. So we really do have, a lot of representation in the show. And truly it came from, me becoming a mother. There are people who actually say that the one character is who I am as a mother to my first daughter, and the other character is who I am as a mother to my second daughter. I'm not sure if that's
cool.
True, but
because it's true. And I'm glad you said that, because a lot of mothers deny the fact. It's not that you love one child more than the other. You just love them differently, because it's a different eras of your life.
Well, you're different. You're a different person.
Yeah. So you love them differently, but I love both my kids and I hate them both. They're the same. They're both even. They're like, oh, he's your favorite, she's your favorite. Yeah. Like, no, I hate you both. So shut up. And so it's always been like that. And one is electric, and the other one is just kind, and very, very even. So of course you're gonna, you look at them differently. You love them according to who they are, not according to your scale of difference, if that makes any sense. Because I'm a mother. My daughter's 35. My son is 31. They're like, they're only 4 years apart, but they're different yet the same. So I get you. Right. That's beautiful that you said that. Because mothers don't admit it. They don't admit it. Mothers love them both the same. So you're shortchanging the specialty of each child. Okay, that's it. I'm done talking.
Well, I think and then Kelly, I'll toss it back to you. Something I think that is so beautiful about this musical that is why I was really drawn to it is that it brings up a lot of the things that mothers don't talk about. Like I think that we were taught that we weren't allowed to talk about because my sister and my cousin and my best friend are all mothers, and we they have all individually come to me and said, like, I feel like I'm not allowed to talk about this, but I need to. And that this show has brought up a lot of those things. And I think that is what makes it really special. Because good theater starts those conversations and starts a lot of those things going about any topic. And this is the first show I've ever seen that is allowing women to talk about things that maybe we're not supposed to. And who says we're not supposed to? So
no, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of because Kelly let me see the video, and it reminded me of it's like the musical version of the vagina monologues, but after you've had kids. Like that's what it reminds me of. Like it's that flavor. It's like that. It's like it's a mix of drama. It's a mix of reality. It's a mix of funny. You know, like, because that's how the vagina monologues were. There were funny parts. There were really deep, like horrific parts. Not that there's horrific in here, but it's about like, because that's the way it is when you're a mom.
Isn't that motherhood? Yeah,
exactly. It's like you're 1 minute you're crying on the floor in the bathroom and they're banging on the door and you're like, leave me the hell alone. I just need some space, you know. And they won't. And you have the door locked and they're like, let me in, you know. And then there's moments where you're just laughing hysterically with your children and having a great time. But it's exactly what Victoria said. It's like we just, you know, we have this expectation, societal, but mostly what we put on ourselves. That we're supposed to be this way, we're supposed to be that way. You know, I laugh because there was a commercial, and it was with a dad, but it was a commercial where the dad, you can see he's a stay-at-home dad, and he's got his cup in his hand or something, and he's waiting for the kid to get off the bus, and all the kids are getting off the bus, and his son gets off the bus. He goes, "How was pajama day?" And the kid goes, "Today was picture day." And he looks around and he sees all the other kids are all dressed up and his kid is in pajamas. And I did that one day. Like I sent my kid in like this, she wasn't pajama day, but I sent her in like sweats and like this ratty shirt. Like I was too tired. Come to find out it was personality picture day. And like, I'm like, you've got to be kidding. Like, and I'm wondering like, why are all the kids dressed up, you know? And here's my kid like in sweats. And she gets the picture back and they posed her with like a globe and books. And she's got like a book next because you're supposed to bring in like something that means something to you. So it's like it highlights your personality, your hobbies, right? So there's my kid in her sweats. And I looked and I said, oh my God, she posed as a college student. Like that's what she looked like. She looked like this college student was like studying up all night, you know, with the sweats on and like, all she needed was like a beer bottle next to her that really would have just added to it. But anyway, so I just went with it and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to look back and go, that was the day that I sent you in for picture day, like a slob. Like, so we have that memory of that.
I mean, and that's motherhood. That's what the show is about. You know, I mean, the mom in this show makes a terrible mistake at the end of Act 1. Oh, am I like echoing on your end?
You're very echoey. It's like you're doing a sound check on stage.
Oh, here, then we'll mute while you talk, Kelly. That usually solves the problem.
Is that? Oh, there we go. Okay. So yeah. So you know, the mom makes a big mistake at the end of Act 1. That like one of the worst mistakes you could make as a mother. And the whole second act is sort of navigating how to deal with that mistake. And the show goes there. It just really, it's raw, it's vulnerable. You know, and it really came from me becoming a mother and just looking in the mirror one day after, you know, having a baby and like looking at myself and like I'm leaking and I'm, you know, just this shell of who I was, you know, and I'm looking at myself in the mirror and just kind of realizing like, where am I, you know? And in that moment, I think so many women experience that, but we're not talking about it and we're not expressing it. And musical theater, like Victoria said, is just such a great way to open up those conversations and have people start talking about it, because we can laugh and we can cry and we can feel and we can walk out of there going, well, wow, I have a better understanding of my mother now, or I have a better understanding of my grandmother, or I have a better understanding of my wife. I have, it's time that theater embraces, this real, raw, honest portrayal of motherhood and of women, because we have so many, they're usually the best friends, or they're the supporting roles, or it's just so minimized. These women are the leads, and it's time that their story becomes the leading story.
I commend you. Thank you for that. For all the mothers out there who don't have a voice. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people worry too much. Like, badass, repeat the title again.
When your desire is greater than your fear.
And I love that.
And it's twofold. It does have to do with the actual play, but it has to also do with the fact that, like, especially with Kelly, like Kelly decided to like get past her fear to create this in the first place.
Exactly. And the thing is that too many women, let's even take the mother out. Too many women, with everything they've heard, oh, don't do this, people are gonna do it. They live by what they assume people are gonna think about them, right? Then you become a mother. Then you don't wanna do this, so you're living in so much shame without even having any shame to be shamed about. Are you getting what I'm saying? So doing this is just like when I talk about being raped, when I talk about rape, and people, like, a lot of people don't want to talk about it. They don't want to be reminded. Family members don't want to be reminded of their family member. So what you're doing is beautiful, because motherhood, as I'm a grandmother of 4, it's just taxing on our spirit. It's like our light dims and nobody understands us, and we're alone in this big dark abyss, because that's how it makes us feel sometimes. So I commend you for doing this with all the different characters, because it does touch base on like so many people, so many mothers in the world with the different characters you're putting on. So thank you for letting go of that fear, for both of you, for saying, you know what, fuck it. Whoever likes it, likes it. I'm gonna build it, and whoever needs to be here will come. And that's beautiful.
I think the other thing too here is that, so it's bad enough that we judge ourselves, which we do. Women, we know this. Like this is not a conversation that we don't have with our, with other people. We hear it all the time, that we are our worst enemies. But women, we've got to stand up too and support each other. And the beauty is that you've highlighted so many different personalities and different types. And there is that element of within our own, community of women, that we do judge other women. Like we'll be like, oh, well, look at her. She's working too. She works all the time and she's never home for her kid. And I'm the stay-at-home mom and I'm so much better and blah, blah, blah. And we don't really know what's going on in the person's head that's home all the time. And they come across as very perfect, and they're not necessarily, and they may not be able to say it because they don't want to let anybody know that they have that vulnerable point. Like I was on myself all the time. I mean, when I was, when my middle daughter, who's 17, was a baby, I was running a full-time practice. I was teaching part-time at night and still trying to be mom. I would bring her to work with me. And I got to tell you, I failed across the board. Like, it's true. The teaching was the only one I was doing fine with, but everything was it was hard because it just wasn't possible. Like I didn't, there was this expectation on me from individuals in my family. And I was like, oh, I have to do this. I have to do this, rather than taking a step back and say, fuck no, I can't have her in the office full time at 1-2 years old. I've got to get daycare. I don't give a rat's ass what anybody else thinks, and blah, blah, blah. But I didn't want to do that. Then you get Gladiator Guru, who she just did her thing. Like, she just dragged kids in tow to demonstrations, and when she would do speaking gigs, and here her kids are, like, sometimes really late at night or listening to all this stuff. And you could have seen, there could have been plenty of people. They might have said it, but she didn't listen and didn't hear it because that's the way she is, because she's always been that way, which is fabulous. But there could have been people like, oh, look at her. Like, how could she bring her kids to this and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, you know what? I met her children, and her children are fucking awesome. And they are badasses. They are entrepreneurs. They are very strong-willed individuals. They are kind-hearted individuals. So listen, she did something right, because, you know what I'm saying? But that is exactly what happens. They'll look at someone like Gladiator Guru back then and go, oh, how could she bring her kids here?
Oh yeah.
Blah, blah,
my
blah.
husband at the time, he called me unfit. That how could you be taking the kids? Because I would go into the Bronx, into Manhattan, with the Puerto Rican diaspora, anything that had to do with, anything against human rights because of color. And they all came, and they came for the demonstrations. They came when I was doing speaking engagements about domestic violence, about rape. So because they needed to know what goes on in the world, so that they can choose which path would they take, and then I can guide them. And because I didn't want to lie to them, and that's the worst thing we mothers do. We lie to our kids in our own warped way of saying, well, I want to protect them from that. You do a disservice to your child when you shelter them from what's really happening in the world and from who the hell you really are, because that's where they draw their strength. So you know what? My mom's Italian, my father's Puerto Rican. I tell people I'm biracial, bicultural, and if you catch me on a wrong day, I'm definitely bipolar. I'm trilingual. I speak English, Spanish, and profanity, and if you piss me off, you're gonna get all three of them at the same time. And yeah, did I mess up as a mom? Of course. Who got it all? Who gets instructions on this? We're gonna mess up. My kids acted up wherever they acted up. I dropped them where they acted up. There was no, we're gonna talk about this when we get home. No, because in the transition, you get busy, you lose this. They lost the lesson as to why they shouldn't do anything. No, all that. Let's talk about it. No, we talked about it. We're gonna go in here. You're gonna behave. You already ate. You know what I mean? And they go in there and they act the fool. So when you act the fool, you got to be checked in the moment. And though we did it, we have a YouTube thing where they're talking about how oh, you used to beat our ass. Yeah, but look at you now. Now you're not afraid to confront anything. You talk to people. You own businesses. Why? Because they were disciplined on the spot when they had to be disciplined. And a mother's job is never easy, as we know. And you know what? I wanted to be the favorite auntie. I didn't want to be the mommy. I tell you about it, I ain't having kids. I love being pregnant. I couldn't stand the first year of motherhood. So it's like everybody has a story. People are like, oh no, I couldn't stand them. I didn't want to be a mother. And here I am having 2, 4 years apart. And my kids like, so why you had us? I used with both accidents, so there's no favorites here. So it's and they laugh it off and they love it. They love my honesty. My 18-year-old granddaughter texts me all the time. We're very close. She wrote the foreword in my book. Why? Because we keep it real. And if you keep it real with your kids and you stop trying to put up all these facades, well, I don't want you to do this. Be real.
Yeah.
And if
That's
you're
the
real
truth.
with your children, if you're real with your nieces and nephews, they will come to you when they're in trouble. They will come to you when they're in doubt. And then there's a lot of mishaps that gets avoided. And they become solid in who they are. And they
Because
can
it
go
gives
live
them
a productive life.
it
Go
gives
ahead.
them a false sense, though. Like, so like if you're acting a certain way as a mom and saying, oh, I could do all this and I could do all that, and really you're not handling it. Like, you go into the other room and you're gunning down that CBD oil or whatever and saying it's not enough, or having drinks like without the kids knowing. It's like, but you're telling them this is the way you are. This is the perfection piece the outside. And then on the inside, you're not practicing self-care. You're not taking care of yourself. So it teaches them a really bad lesson, because especially if you have daughters, they're going to believe that that's how you're supposed to be when you're older. And then they're going to get whacked with the reality of, wow, that actually wasn't sustainable. That's what happened to me. My mom is a massive, typical Italian-American mother, and took over everything, very enabling. Not that I didn't do things myself, but I did. But I came with the understanding that I have to be a Captain Save-A-Ho. Like, I've got to take care of everybody and everything and blah, blah, blah. And I realized that that's not sustainable. Like, I put everybody first and not me. And so these are the conversations, like, you have, right, in the musical, but you make it fun too, because like you're singing songs that are catchy. But it's the reality.
What
I think
music?
I'm
Yeah, you,
sorry.
because no, what kind of music? Because Lori opened up with the music, and then
Yes.
I piggyback because my music is my go-to. It's like Cut Your Veins, Let's Jump on the Car at a Red Light and Dance. I perform sold out concerts at Madison Square Garden in the driver's seat, in between lights. People look at me like
In
I'm
my
crazy,
driver's seat.
you know. But that's what I do because music is life. So, what music will you be having?
So it's a musical. So it's in the style of musical theater. So it's contemporary musical theater. It feels like sort of a pop rock score with a little bit of, classic musical theater mixed in. But I just wanted to touch back on Dr. Lori's point a little bit in saying that, in going for creating this musical and having to go to New York City and leave my children at home and, make the decision to like, what am I spending my time on? Taking my child to the playground or working on my show? And, that's been such a, like an internal struggle for me. With the guilt and the like, am I doing the right thing? But what you're talking about, about like, you have to be real with your children. I'm being who I am, and Dr. Lori always talks about finding your authentic self and being your authentic self and living your authenticity. And for the first time in my life, I feel like, for the first time in a long time, I'd say even since college, high school, I'm really living who I am. And I think that as much as I feel guilty that maybe my daughters are watching a little too much, Disney Plus, and, I'm not totally there for every moment the way I would be if I was just this stay-at-home mom. I think that I'm living who I am and showing them that, they can go after their dreams. They can be 35 years old and a mom and like have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old and still pick up and put a show on in New York City if they want to. And, we've been so blessed with the response to this show. We've had features in Broadway World and Seen Sir TV, and we were on Britney TV, and we've had such an amazing response. And it's like, I'm just with every step showing my daughters that like, you can follow your dreams no matter where you are, who you are, and as long as you step into who you are as your authentic self, you can achieve anything you want to achieve.
You can have it all. You can have it all. That's the biggest lie we were ever told. You can't have it all. Bullshit. Make it happen. You want to see some like serious empowerment of making your life work with your kids is go on to, I think was it Netflix or Prime? I can't remember, but Pink's,
yes.
What's it? I forgot the name of it. The whatever. This is all I know, I think, or something like that. It is so empowering and inspiring. This is from a few years ago, but it's so empowering to see her just bringing her kids on tour, and she just lets them see who she is. And then flash forward, there's her and her daughter doing a performance just recently, hanging upside down. Like her daughter has no fear. Her daughter's singing because Pink was real with her and added her kids into her life. That's like what Gladiator Guru did. She brought them into her world to get them to see this is what I'm all about. So Kelly, you're going to get to a point where the musical is going to be like hitting the big time, and you're going to be going to the shows, and your girls are going to be going with you because they're going to be seeing, and they're going to know every song, and they're going to know every act, and then and they're going to be backstage, front stage, whatever. They're going to be a part of it because you're including them in it. You just there's some legwork you got to do beforehand that they can't necessarily be there for, but they will be soon. And I just want to point out, so Chenille said if her daughter is trying to get into musicals and acting, so if you need an actress, she is.
I'll let Victoria take that one.
We're always looking. We're always keeping our doors open. I'm always looking for new talent. If not for this show, then the next. So send her our way. And I wanted to add on to that point. I think we're always taught as women that we can't have it all and that we have to make sacrifices. And Kelly went one direction and found, family first, and then is coming back into theater. And I went the other direction. And, at 30, 33, 34, I always forget. But, and put career first, and have been in New York for 10 years. And for a while thought that I might never find the love of my life or a family, because I was just like, I have to do this. This is what is in my soul. And, met my fiance later, and then so it's the opposite direction. But I'm like, no, I get to have that too. And that's okay. And I'll figure out how to work that into my life. And for a while was just like, no, I'm never going to have that. But it's like, no, I do get to have that too. And I do get to have someone I love. And we are going to have kids. And if you don't want kids, that's fine. And I think you'll still totally enjoy this show, because everybody has a mom or has a strong woman in their life. But that you also get to have that if you go in the other direction. And if you want it all, whatever it all means to you, you can absolutely have it. Like, if it all is a goldfish, like whatever that means to you, you can absolutely have it. And I remember in school, I was, people told me, other students were like, you're crazy to think that you can have everything, and you'll have to make sacrifices of one or the other. And it's not so.
Like this, la, 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 la. When somebody does that, that's what we need to do.
Well, look at it. It's like divine intervention. It's a word maktab. It means it is written. So what you're describing is, here are two ships, one's filled and one's about to be filled, and you cross paths. And what two people to come together, and two who can understand each other's side. Kelly was there. You're going there. So you can see what it is you want to do, and she can help assist you just by being who she is, just by being the mom and the wife that she is. And that's divine intervention. That's where there's no mistake how this happened. So
And
whatever comes your way, whatever comes your way, deal with it, because this is supposed to happen in every setback, any bump in the road that happens is supposed to be a lesson that either both of you or one of you have to learn in going forward. So you know what? Take every moment, absorb it, whether you want to scream, you're frustrated, whatever, or you're just happy, absorb it, because it's going to serve you later on in such a way that it's going to be life altering. So take these moments and everything that has happened already. And if you got a journal about it, because this right here, what you just said was so important, and how you came, where you are and how you came to be. So you have to put value in that to whatever else you have going on, because there's a bigger picture coming for both of you. And this is beautiful. And I can't wait to see this.
I think that what you're saying is just so, one of the things that Victoria and I have found in each other is just two women collaborating on this. It's just been like, it's so rare in the theater. It's such a male-dominated profession, and you rarely get a female director, choreographer, and a female writer in the same space. And we've been able to do that and make that magic happen on a show about women. And it's just so cool to have this person who's supporting me. And we believe it or not, we have yet to butt heads. I don't think we have yet, because we stay in our lanes, and we both know what each other's strengths are, and we let each other have our strengths and empower each other in those strengths. And I know that she's bringing everything she can to the table, and she knows that I'm going to do the same thing. And it's just been such a pleasure and so powerful to do this with a woman like Victoria.
I was thinking the same thing. We are working on a show that has the rare joy of actually having two female leads. And it reminds me of how Kelly and I work a lot of the time. I'm like, we have two female leads working on this show, and it's really exciting. And we do different things. And we just, like Kelly said, we know that the other one does. I'm like, I've never written a song in my life. And I'm just like, and I know that she can write a song in 20 minutes. I feel that. And it's really incredible that way. And, they pull each other up as we pull each other up.
I think that's the lesson here. That's the lesson here with women. And again, it's not any disrespect to men. It's just that men, the male dominated world, whether it's the industry that you're, especially in the entertainment industry, everything's competitive. Everything's compete. Well, there's nothing necessarily wrong with competing because it gives you a little bit of, pushes you. But women are best at nurturing collaboration, thought, think tank kind of deal. And if we get past that bullshit of competing with one another and say, okay, let's use each other, like, okay, I'm not perfect in this piece, and maybe this individual is, and we can come together. So what Gladiator Group was saying with the both of you, you both enhance each other. It's like where Kelly will fit in pieces for Victoria fits in pieces for Kelly, whether it's in the personal life or the business life. And that's how Gladiator Guru and I are. Like, we're the same way. We're the same in so many ways and different in others, and we enhance each other. And that's what we do for the tribe. And that's what you do for your tribe and for everybody. And that is where this shift has to happen. Like, we have to keep going with this momentum. Because in order for us to create real change in our world, we all have to step up. The divine feminine, energy to kick in.
We have to, because supporting women is a beautiful thing. Now, if you're, and just being excited, I'm telling you, look, supporting each other as women is powerful and really important. Carmen Nieves, it is. And I'm happy that I'm meeting you two ladies today. How's that? Only insecure people don't want you to win. But if I eat, you eat. And that's how we have to spread it out to the women. As women, I have an art series. I have a blog. And I have a workshop that I've been working on for a while. But it's called The Power of Pussy. And it is about empowering. We are the most strongest species to ever exist on this earth. We own everything that we seek, yet we swallow it. And I'm thinking that we're the breeders of life. We're the awesome aunties. We're trendsetters and trailblazers. We're our own super fucking hero. We don't need to wait for nobody to get anything done in our life, whether single parents, married, whatever. So I commend you for that, because what you're doing is bigger than just a musical for the hearts of women. So yes. So anything we have to say? No, you're welcome. Lori has been bragging and bragging, and I said, well, let me get a feel for them. Let me speak to them, and it's exactly what, I don't know if it was Victoria that reiterated Lori's words about being authentic. And I think when you're authentic, when you have self-trust and self-love, the only competition is with yourself. People are not going to be at your level, but who are you to judge where they're supposed to be?
That's right.
In your lane. Stay in your lane. Don't cause traffic. They would either you guide them to be where they're supposed to be, or they don't belong there. But you'll know that instantly. And I think only insecure people will hate on you and not support you. But you already know that. You have our support here at Viva Cafe con Leche.
And the tribes. Yep,
and the Moms After Dark. And when I speak of Viva Cafe con Leche, I speak of all our tribe members, because they're so dedicated, and it's not about the numbers we have. It's about the heartbeats we share. And that's how we look at it. And that's right. Yeah, we're like, so excited. I didn't know that the numbers went up, but we're still 20 short of 100. And that, we're 20 short of 100. 110 of subscriptions to reach 100. And if we can get excited about that, and people are complaining because they're at 800, you know what? We're excited that we had that many heartbeats believe in what we say, and it's gonna grow. Because it's not about how large is the number, it's about the heartbeats that come along. So where's the first show? Let's talk about that, because if I have to fly down to Connecticut, I will.
I think Gladiator Guru could be a good opening act for you. Like, she could get everything.
We would love that.
I've got the disclaimer though. This is, hopefully the kids are home, like
putting her down from the ceiling with flames. It'll be
Hey, I'm a Sagittarius. I'm an archer. I'm half centaur, half amazing. So bring it.
Awesome. I love that. Well, our first, we are doing a workshop production in the city on July July 24th in New York City at Ripley Greer Studios. It is an investor workshop, so we do have seats for industry professionals. So if you are an industry professional or a producer or an investor and you would like to come in person, you can just email us at press.momsthemusical@gmail.com. Otherwise, the live stream is actually being broadcast to the general public, and tickets are available for only $5, and all of the tickets go to benefit an organization called Moms for Moms New York City, which is a 501c3 nonprofit that supports single mothers in New York. They're an incredible organization. They provide pre and postnatal care for these women. They offer, they give out these amazing baskets of like diapers and all the things that they need, but not just for the babies, for themselves as well, so they can have self-care. Moms for Moms New York City is just this amazing organization, and we're so blessed to be able to donate our general public ticket sales to this organization. So tickets are only $5. You can get them at www.suretteandhall, SURETTE and AND Hall HALL.com/moms-the-musical. And I can give Dr. Lori all of that information, but you can go right to that website, purchase a ticket for $5. And yes, thank you. That's the website right in the chat there. You can purchase a ticket for $5 and you can watch the workshop right from the comfort of your home. Bring your mom juice,
If you, the comments are going crazy.
The goal is to put it on live at some point, right? That's why you're looking for investors, right? That's the goal, right? So Michelle said, like, when we're ready, let's as soon as you guys open, like, we're going to get the tribe together. We're going to grab a bunch of seats. We're going to rent a bus. And we will go to wherever you are.
Yes. It's like bus trip. Yeah.
There you go. See that? Bus trip.
Love our support.
Our goals are big. We're dreaming tours, Broadway, off Broadway. We're going for it all the way. So
and Teddy's saying get your tickets ASAP. Absolutely. And
Teddy is our producer.
So good. All right. Well, he's doing his job then. He's perfect. So we were almost out of time, but one thing that I really do, like, we could try to sort of keep this focused, Kelly and Victoria, like how you want to say it. But so the title is when your desire is greater than your fear. When you look back at whether it's like just 2 years ago, because I know I've known Kelly I think we've known each other now for 2 years, and maybe a little bit longer. And so I know where you were and you know where you were, but even before that. So Victoria, like, you both chose industries. You chose an industry that's really, really hard. It's challenging. There's a lot of imbalance with women and men, and you take a lot of crap as a woman in that industry, and hopefully we're going to keep seeing it change. So when the title, when your desire is greater than your fear, when we get knocked down from all the crap in our lives, the bad stuff that's happened to us, how do you feel? How could you sum it up to everybody to explain where you are now, and that the desire is greater than that fear that you've had? Who wants to go first?
Victoria, go ahead.
Okay, I can go. I think that desire being greater than fear is, especially, I was mostly an actor before, and shifting from actor to actor, director, choreographer is so male dominated, and just deciding to be my own authentic self in that role in this industry was terrifying. And especially when I started really asserting my power in that role, I got pushed down a lot, very similarly to a woman we knew in a certain political race for being too strong and being, I got called a bitch sometimes just for like asserting my own opinions and things like that. And that was terrifying because I just didn't want to, I didn't want to be called that type of woman. Like, I love being a bubbly, kind, wonderful, like giving of myself to others. And that was really scary. And so a lot of times I tried to pull back who I was to not have that. And then just making the choice of being, this is who I am. This is my authentic self. Take it or leave it. And that was my desire, to be myself and to just like, no, I'm going to direct. I'm going to be who I want to be in this industry.
What about you, Kelly?
Well, I mean, I think Dr. Lori knows that, you know, I mean, I found Dr. Lori randomly and reached out to her and started working with her as a life coach. She was I had contacted her because I was just so trapped in wanting so much more for myself, but just like, I'm going to get emotional. I love Dr. Lori. Yeah, like just so trapped in not being able to fly, but knowing how badly I needed to and wanted to. And I wasn't able to take that step alone into letting myself become who I wanted to be. And I was just a shell of myself. And it was partially because I became a mother, partially not. I mean, just a lot of things. I mean, I'm a strong, powerful woman, you know, who when she asserts herself is often called a bitch and is often, I mean, the same exact thing, you know, feeling like I'm not likable because I am so serious and I am such a you know, I work so hard and I'm such a powerhouse, and people tend to resent that. People tend to not respond to that well, or they're jealous or whatever it is. And just kind of that was bigger and weighed on me so much more than the getting out of that and just saying, fuck it. Like, I'm going to be who I am. And with Dr. Lori's help, I don't know. I mean, I think I said to her once, I was like, why now? Like, why are we doing this now? And she was like, because it's time. She just very calmly said, it's time. It's your time.
I had such insight back then.
You did. And, you know, you just helped me just with a little bit of hand holding and a little bit of push her out of the nest. I flew, and I just haven't stopped flying because the second I did, I was like, oh my God, this is who I am. And I feel so much better every single day because I'm just being myself. And also Teddy is on here, and I have to give a shout out to Teddy, who sat there back in March when COVID hit and said, Kelly, you're a freaking musical theater composer. Start writing your musicals. Stop doing what you're doing and get your ass in gear and write the damn shows that have been on your heart. And I did.
I like Teddy.
That's Teddy, right?
Yeah, I like Teddy.
I like Teddy too.
Love Teddy. Yes. So, I mean, I think for me, the desire being greater than my fear, I mean, I just had to do it afraid. And then eventually the fear, I mean, it's still there, but it's not as big as the desire.
And I love that you said that, right, Gladiator Guru? She said, I had to do, I was still afraid, but I did it anyway.
But without fear, we're not going to know what chances to take. See, just like without the darkness, we don't appreciate the light. We need to have some kind of negative to push us toward the positive. We're all fear. You know what? Sometimes I'm afraid. My biggest fear is that I don't have fear. Like, I'll embrace everybody, but I'll cut you when you least expect it. Not physically. I don't do that anymore. But I will cut you out of my life. Like, you know, I'll give you a first chance and then a second chance. So sometimes my biggest fear is that I don't have the fear. And then other times, it's not even fear, it's sorrow. That can get mixed up. But we still need it, because without the sadness, without the rain, we can't enjoy it's all these lame cliches that we grew up with. But the thing is that we need it, and I'm happy. Some people empower that fear and do exactly what you did. You know, people empower that fear. Dr. Lori, she's like, fuck that. I'm going to be the badass Buddha. I don't care who likes it or not. And she's had people come at her on site telling her that she should change that, or does she not want to use it, or, you know, what is she doing?
Networking. Yeah, they've said
But even about Viva, even they told her, why is she wasting her time with Viva? And it's like, you know what? You're gonna have those, but we need those. We need those people who give the opposite of what we believe, because then it assures us that we are on the right path. So I'm
Yep.
so happy. I'm glad you got stung by that fear, and I'm glad that you took that fear, and with people like Victoria, with you, with people like Kelly, and both of yous, with Teddy, I'm gonna meet you one day. Teddy lit that firecracker up your asses, and he's like, "Let's get this done. Let's do this. It's time." And we need those people in our lives. So embrace them and understand them and appreciate them. And when they're in their moods, just say, "You know what? Take a walk, lighten up, come back when you're ready," because we all go through those moments, especially in theater and the musical. There's a
Yep.
lot of.
Yep. All right.
So, and I'm thinking, you know what? I believe in the number 3. I believe in the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, life, death, rebirth, past, present, future, heaven, earth, water. I believe in number 3. And if today I met Kelly, Victoria, and Teddy through message. That's my number 3 for me. So that's a good sign for me. I'm feeling really good about you guys. And you know what? You're the best. We're all gonna support you.
That's right.
We
So
will
go
all,
to
we're all like
the so click on the comments. You can go directly click on before we hang up. You can go directly on and shoot to the open up a tab, and then get your tickets after the show. And we want to thank you both for coming on. We really do appreciate you coming on.
And we'll see you on July. Well, we'll hear you.
And we'll be on. That's right, July 9th. So you're going to be
9th.
on for another hour talking about, and that's going to be even closer because that's going to be closer to the workshop. So we were going to, that's going to be another 2 weeks away, something like that. So we're going to hear some really cool stuff. Just to let everybody know, for Thursday's show, we have Your Wealth Determines Your Health with Barbara Jackson. So we're still kicking off that financial piece. We're still really playing that and pushing that for those of you that are challenged by financial blocks. And so we're going to have Barbara Jackson, who is she's a teacher. She teaches finance, and that's what she does. She teaches financial literacy. So again, to reach out to Kelly and Victoria, you can go on their IG at moms.themusical, and you can also go onto the website to get the tickets. And remember, it's for a good cause. They're donating.
Yes.
And we thank you both for coming on. It's been great having you, and we will have you again on July 9th. So Gladiator Guru, any last thing before we sign off?
No, thank you for blessing my day today. Lori just she meets these wonderful people. I can't sit in what is it that you go on? But I love it, and her networking stuff, and so I'm grateful for that, because she does come across great people, and this just made my day. I woke up, I went to bed feeling, it wasn't my best yesterday, so today's Tuesday. Let's make it magical. Let's be magically orgasmic today, ladies.
And there you go. There's 2 new songs that you can add. The power of pussy and magically orgasmic. So
magically orgasmic.
I can't wait to choreograph that one.
Well, listen, I have a goddesssavvy.blog on WordPress. There's a blog on magically orgasmic and the power of pussy. I have hats. I have so many people who are so afraid to wear my power of pussy hats and my t-shirts, but you know what? I'm like, fuck them. It wasn't for them.
And it's take back that word. Take back that word.
Pussy. My daughter hates it. I love it. But
my God. And with that, we will see you all on Thursday. Ladies, thanks so much for coming on. And from the Badass Buddha, remember, be you, be real, and be extraordinary.
And from the Gladiator Guru, remember, breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. Namaste.
Namaste, everyone.